All right. It's January 30th, 2012. And I'm doing a follow-up, part 2 to the first one. Presidential candidate is being censored on YouTube. And it's not an accident. Some of the things I failed to mention is I talked about 3 things, you know, the how hacked off I am, but what happened today, the presidential, State of the Union, which is nothing but garbage. I went and put a whole bunch of comments on there today. A lot of very angry comments. One book I wanted to show you that I didn't get to show you in the previous 15-minute was a book written by author Goldwag. It's copyrighted. He dedicated it to the guide to the Kabbalah, Islams, and Oglis. But anyway, the copyright book on this is 2009, so it's pretty up to date. Now there's some commentary on here because he's the author, obviously. But it's called Cults, Conspiracies, and Secret Societies, and this is what it looks like. Okay. Now for me, I only paid, as you can see, like $4.99. I got it at Crown Books. But it goes in there and it talks to you about practically every secret society that they have come up with and what their plans are. There's even a comment in here that Rockefeller made about, you know, oh, he's so pissed off because he got mentioned so much and that he's all part of this big, huge conspiracy and blah, blah, blah. And, I mean, he probably doesn't know that in 1994, he got, the Bilderberg Group was actually mentioned in a news story on CNN in 1994, and they only put it on the air because there was so much talk about it. They wanted to try to fill a disinterest. By doing the story, maybe people would become less disinterested in it. I know that sounds backwards, but it's true. They proposed it this way. And now, a story about the Bilderbergers who want to take over the world. They already have the world. They've been in operation since 1954. The International Monetary Fund, the members of that, there's members in big, high places and big business, corporations that handle billions, if not trillions of dollars, that are involved in all of this. So go get the book. I'm not going to read stuff out of it. I just already told you. But let's talk about YouTube. You know, like YouTube, the biggest pet peeve I have, I can't put multiple comments on there. It stops me. I have to go in and print some kind of weird looking letters to get approval, to get commented, and you have to play this game. And of course their excuse is, oh, it's to prevent spam, it's to prevent blah, 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 it's to prevent. But in actual fact, Mr. YouTube's, owners of YouTube and Google, you're actually hurting the very same population that you're trying to be a server to by blocking people. See, most people on YouTube are not going to get on the national news media. That's quietly reserved, and although they'll never admit to it, for people who've already passed approval of the Bilderbergs, the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, and all the rich monetary funds and rich individuals that are all over the world that are part of these groups. And, you know, needless to say, it's not a conspiracy. They're in a club of such gigantic proportions that a poor person like me wouldn't even want to deal with people like that. I mean, I was snuck into one Bilderberg meeting, and that's it. I knew. And that's probably why I'm being blacklisted. That's probably why the Bilderbergers, Trilateral Commission, all these rich people say, oh, no. We'll cut your funding if you any of the main media, ABC, CBS, NBC, CNN, even Al Jazeera. If you do anything on this guy, we're going to take your FCC license away. We're going to put a lot of people out of work. In YouTube, the White House will not allow me to post my videos or practically anyone else's videos on their website. What do they got to fear? if they really believe in freedom of speech, freedom of press, freedom to at least voice your opinion as well as see your opinion, then come on, Obama, what are you afraid of? You and your stinking White House? Bush. It goes back years and years. You won't let someone post, I can't post my angry video on your clean, sparkling, immaculate conception White House? I got news for you. If you're Christian, you're going to burn in. I'm an agnostic, but I've studied all religions. If you're Christian, you're going to burn in hell for two reasons. When you die, you're gambling with the unknown. You're believing your faith that God is going to forgive you for the children that you've paid taxes to the military government of the United States to kill innocent men, women, and children in other countries. Hey, I don't have to prove that. It's blasted all over the news media. You see it every time a suicide bomber blows themselves up. But what's the real reason all this is happening? Oh, well, your 7,750 years of war all over the world, that's verified. I don't have to, that's not a conspiracy. That's the truth. Your human nature is evil. It's even written about in Star Trek. The guy Q, the supreme being, one of these supreme beings, Q is his name, constantly challenges Captain Picard, saying, your human race is full of nothing but death and destruction and wars and evil. Oh, and there might be some little places of peace here and there, but they're so few in mention that it amounts to less than 300 years. And that's in bits and pieces. So here I am at, what is this, 6 minutes into the second video, and I'm already cutting the human race down actually very, very efficiently. The human race is the most worst criminal of all. Of all the criminals put together in the jails all over the world, even the suicide bombers, even the child molesters, the murderers, the killers, they can't even compare to the total amount of death and destruction your whole human race has done on itself for 7,750 years. If I was an alien and I landed on this planet, somebody told me, hey, watch out, these creatures, no matter how peaceful they seem, have a rap sheet of 7,750 years of war, death, and destruction. Oh boy, did I come to the wrong place. Well, how many years of peace have they had? Well, give and take, a little less than 300 years. Whoa, excuse me. Whoa, on my planet, that's reversed. On my planet, they've only had 300 years, less than 300 years of wars and bits and pieces. It's the other way around, and 7,750 years of peace. That includes no domestic violence, no molestations, no this, no that, nothing. We got it together a long time ago. I'm just talking like it's a movie, like a science fiction movie. You know, get it. So here I am putting you people down. One guy said, you might get people to listen to your videos more if you tone down your criticism. Tone down my criticism? Are you a studier of history? Have you ever looked really with a magnifying glass at the history of the human race? Psst, man, I don't want to, I only had to do it once to realize I was in a real bad place. And I think that's what Obama, behind closed doors, the super top secret government of the United States, I think that's what they're mostly afraid of from people like me. Because they say, man, we can't trust this guy. We don't know what he'll do next. Well, I do guarantee you this. I'm not going to kill you. I'm not going to put you up against the wall, like I said in some of my videos, and shoot all of you, although that's what you deserve. Because that would only be repeating what you've done for 7,750 years. No, I do worse to you. Far, far worse. I want you to live, to see the pain, to feel the pain and agony that you have contributed to all the years and your ancestors have done. Want me to prove it to you? All right. If you're Christian, from my knowledge of Christianity, you've done two big mistakes. As American citizens, you have made yourselves blasphemers of the name of God, and two, killers of multiple millions of children. Want me to prove it? On the dollar bill and every coin is printed the name of God. Christ said, They were shown a coin. To who do we show homage to? And he said, well, render therefore to Caesar the things that are Caesar, and to God the things that are God's. So that was Christ's answer. But in some other things that he said, the greatest in the kingdom of heaven are people who will humble themselves as children. That's what he told his apostles. But whoever does harm to every one of these, any one of these little ones, be better they tie a millstone to their neck and be tossed into the sea than to face what God is going to do to you. Now you as Christians say, oh, well, I can't help it. I have to pay taxes. They'll put me in jail. Well, you should have all revolted 200 years ago when they started getting taxes from you in some way or another and started having you comply and participate in this death and destruction. Of course, the federal tax thing didn't really happen until what, the middle 1900s, But still, I mean, that's how they got Al Capone. They got him for tax evasion, not for murdering, hundreds of people. But the point is, you're creating hypocrisy. You have been paying, you and your grandfathers, grandmothers have been paying taxes into the military-industrial complex, which sends that money to the military, 75% of it, and it contributes to killing innocent men, women, and children. So you are hypocrites. And you go to church and you ask for confession or you ask for forgiveness from God. How can God, a real God, give you free will and then forgive you for paying money with God's name on it to a military that says, oh, we got to do this, and oh, I'm sorry those kids got in the way. They're just casualties of war. Excuse me, 7,750 years of war, and you're still doing it? Only more efficiently with all the high-tech weapons and stuff you have. Oh, you're really great. You couldn't keep Miss Gifford and that little girl from getting killed, could you? Her getting forever changed, and my life forever changed with what you've done to me, and that poor little girl who got killed. Like I said, you're all hypocrites. When I mention my criticism, I'm speaking as if I'm sitting on the throne of God with the actual energy of God, who is really pissed off at all of you, and I wouldn't blame God 1 minute if he sent a huge meteor to the planet Earth and got rid of all of you, because you haven't proven yourselves. Only very few people have tried to prove themselves, but they get sucked in by all that stuff that all these powerful people in powerful places and high places. Like I said, read this cult book. And what? Vote for me for president? The votes aren't even going to be counted in California, where I'm at. I'm not going to get the electoral vote. Although I can challenge Obama and the Republicans and everybody to an instant debate now, next month, February, Valentine's Day. That would be great. I challenge all of you to a Valentine's Day instant debate. I dare any of you to show up and go, all right, Caesar, we're on. Because I'm going to put every last one of you down. Because in the first place, you've got that history. Remember? 7,750 years of war, death, and destruction. You aren't going to be able to top me in any subject, on any subject at all dealing with the economy, money, financial matters, mortgages, people owning houses. I'll be able to beat your pants off. Every which way you look. I don't care whether you're man or woman. You will not be able to beat me. And I'll tell you why. Because in 2008, remember one of my other videos, it says that. I went up against 4 unknown presidential candidates, and the people in Kansas City and the Missouri area, listen to the rush hour crowd, said that, and the radio station told me they took a vote. And I won all 4 debates, and I got more than 90% of the vote from all the people voting. So you think about that, Obama, if you decide, and Mitt Romney, and Gingrich, and whoever the hell else, and Ron Paul, you're all evil. Not one of you are really in the people's pocket. Not one of you are really doing a service for any country. Whether you were, if you were put in position of power, any other country, you'd be doing the same exact thing. Bull crapping, pulling the wool over everybody's eyes. Simply because, oh, I'm a maverick, Ron Paul. I'm a maverick. He just has a little more money than I do. I challenge all of you to debate. Come on. February, Valentine's Day.